I'm holding this super big tripod, so it's gonna be weird. And I'm recording on my iPad, so like I'm not gonna look directly at the camera. But yeah. So hold on. I'm gonna see if I want to set up right here again. So I got an email from I'd say one of my supporters. I got a good community on TikTok, and they reached out to me. On YouTube as well. You feel what I'm saying? They rock with me when I talk about you know um, generational curses, narcissism, and stuff like that. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people need that right now. It's also spreading the word of God or whatever the case may be. But yeah, so I got an email. I'm gonna check it out. I got an email. I didn't even know people could email me for real, because I didn't really have that set up. Now, people on my website, you know what I'm saying? My website right now going through technical difficulties, joshdifferent.com, but I know people on my website was messaging me, and um, maybe I'll show that on this video too as well. Anyway, so somebody emailed me, and his name is Gavin, and I told him I was gonna give him a shout out through the DMs or Instagram. I hit him up. I will block out his number on here too. Says, greetings. I wanted to say I appreciate and relate to your content heavy, bro. And I'm originally from New York, and I was definitely the black sheep of my family, but after growing your content, I moved to the... Furthermore, saying basically, he appreciated my content and stuff like that, which I appreciate him reaching out. I want to go on my Wix right now. I appreciate him reaching out, but I like to talk to a lot of the black sheeps, the scapegoats, the people that are breaking from generational curses, because I know it's not easy to break generational curses, and I know it's one of those things where most people don't truly understand it. So um, I'm trying to go on Wix to see if I can get any other messages. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't truly understand it, so it's kind of frustrating when trying to, get people to support you and stuff like that, because it's one of those situations when you're a black sheep, a scapegoat, um, that people only understand it if they went through it. So my message is to all the black sheep, the scapegoats, the star seeds, the chosen ones, to continue to push forward. Try to find a community of people who can resonate with you. You feel what I'm saying? Try to find a community of people who understand you in a sense. Try to find people who are actually going through what you're going through. Because like I said, a lot of people won't understand it, and then they'll probably either trigger you, or they might honestly say something that's rude or out of pocket um, in regards to your journey, because they might feel like you're the problem, especially if you're a scapegoat. For some magical reason, when you're the scapegoat in your family, because of how systems are set up, when you're a scapegoat in your family, you become the scapegoat in society, because that is the pattern. You know what I'm saying? That is the pattern that you are you're conditioned to be in. So you subconsciously, without even realizing it, you might carry yourself like a scapegoat. You might carry yourself like an individual who has always done something wrong, because you were conditioned that way. You carry yourself lower. So for Gavin to be, working on himself, reaching out to people, trying to get a community, doing martial arts, which is something that's great for discipline, I feel like that's dope, and I feel like he's set an example for other individuals who might be going through the same thing. It would be dope if he created content, which I don't think he does. I'm gonna shout out his Instagram. Um, it's GAVIZM. Yeah, he doesn't create content. He just got a picture up there. But yeah, I'm not saying that everybody has to do that, but I think that when people go through deep things like this, they should honestly think about being vocal about it, or being, because that was the issue I had when I started talking about narcissistic abuse, or if you start talking about spirituality, or if you start talking about being a black sheep. My issue in general, when I came across certain individuals, was this, and this is no shot to them, this is just the reality of it. Anything that you get into, especially on social media, people become very competitive in a sense, and they want to compete with you in the midst of trying to help other people. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, that horsefly. California got mad horseflies, but for some magical reason, people want to compete with you when the goal is to spread awareness, when the goal is to spread your specific experience so somebody can relate to it. I explained this to this guy on TikTok who also said he could relate to me, and he said he appreciate me or whatever the case may be, which I appreciate him for saying that. But um, I explained this to him to say that he was saying he didn't have the confidence in order to create content like I've been creating content. But I told him, the more and more you try to do something, you create content. It's like if you start a sport or if you start, anything. But notice this, change its colors. I don't know if y'all know this, but I was just saying, like, the more you try something, the more you'll build confidence. What is that? You see that? It's a beetle. Anyway, I'm losing train of thought. But the more you try something, the more you become confident. So the more you create content, um, the more confident you will become. So don't like minimize yourself. On top of the fact that, like I said, if you're a black sheep of the family, if you're breaking generational curses, you probably have people in your life at some point that tried to make you feel like you were less than or inferior. Now, if you're like me, you have a very confident side, but you also have a side where sometimes you second guess yourself subconsciously without realizing it. But for the most part, I feel like I have a very healthy level of confidence. You feel what I'm saying? Now I do tap into that second guess myself in a sense, but that's just something that was projected onto me. That's just something that was that people around me intentionally try to embed into me because they didn't have the confidence within themselves. So they would tear down somebody who was on the process of trying to become the best version of themselves. And that happens a lot with us black sheep, star seeds, scapegoats, chosen ones, and those who are breaking generational curses. Sadly, because we just so happen to grow up around individuals who want to see us lose. Simple as that. Now, when we bring love into it, when we bring God into it, you feel what I'm saying? When we try to follow Jesus Christ, then we can become so strong within ourselves that the things that they did to us doesn't really matter because we healed from it, because we got past it, because we move forward. So we get out of that victim mentality, which people scrutinize the victim mentality, but in the beginning, the victim mentality plays its purpose. It allows you to recognize the things that are going on within your life, because you are all sappy and like, oh, this happened to me, that happened to me, whatever the case may be. But once you get out of that victim mentality, you can use the things you learned in there if you choose to. You tap out of that, and then you go into the next phase. Like, I just see the victim mentality as a phase. People attack it and be like, oh, you acting like a victim, whatever. It's a phase that you're supposed to get out of. It's a part of it's just like somebody smacked you. You first be like, yo, what did you smack me? And then you be like, yo, you go right back, but you be like, why you smack me? Or even when you talk about it later on to your friends, you're still kind of in the victim mentality. You're like, I don't know why you smacked me. I don't know why you smacked me. I didn't do nothing. But eventually you be like, you know what I'm saying? You either do what you decide to do, be the bigger person, walk away. But the more the story is, regardless of how you react, smack them back, whatever the case may be, hey, I say it all the time, I'm different, you different, we different. I'm not going to sit here and judge you. Now, God says don't fight those battles. You know what I'm saying? Let God fight your battles. But if somebody smack me, I'm smacking them back. Simple as that. But you feel what I'm saying? I'm just being real. But like I'm saying, like, at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you. At the end of the day, you will get to the point where you realize that the victim mentality is just a phase. You'll get to the point where you realize that they smack me because they hate themselves, so then in turn they try to hate me. So you'll come to realization to get to the next point, to get to the next step, to get to the point of liberation. Same thing with your family, same thing with your toxic friends, same thing with those who are around you who tried to bring you down. You will get to the point. And so I had a conversation with somebody else in regards to breaking generational curses and having a narcissistic mother. And I won't put who it was, but I'll put the response. So the question was basically this. They asked me, should they reach out to their mother, their narcissistic mother, because they're in no contact. And they haven't been in no contact for that long, maybe a year, maybe a couple years, or maybe a couple months. Basically, it hasn't been a long time. So I won't say who it was, and I won't show what they said, but I just told you what they said. And then I'll put my response on here. So this one thing I will say is that you are a great person. You are worthy and you don't need anyone's validation. Although I do understand that you feel like you need your mother's validation because it's your mother, it's the person that birthed you. So it's okay to feel that way. Although I feel like you have expectations tied into wanting the validation or reaching out to her, and she might cause you more harm if you reach out and seek validation, or she might gaslight you, manipulate you, and play like your friend for the moment, to use your energy. But eventually, when she wants to treat you honestly, how she honestly feels, she might cause more harm to you and more pain, because internally she's not capable of consistently showing you the love you deserve. But honestly, I can't tell you what you should and shouldn't do. I can only give my perspective, and I think that you should definitely keep your distance from your mom until you feel like you have healed enough to deal with her without being triggered. So if you feel at this point like, yes, I validate myself, I don't need her validation, I don't need her care, you feel what I'm saying, then you should definitely reach out and, like I said, not have no expectation or care, you know what I mean, in regards to what she thinks about you and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's all about you. It's all about becoming the best of me. It's all about becoming so strong within yourself that nobody's validation matters, but you got to get there. You know what I'm saying? We all have to get there. And basically, I was just explaining to them at the end of the day, you have to build yourself up in order to be able to deal with these individuals, you feel what I'm saying, if you choose to. Some people choose not to. Some people choose to continue to push forward. Some people continue to go no contact. That's what I did. And every situation is different, you feel what I'm saying? You might have a situation where you build yourself up and you can go back and deal with that person, or you might have a situation where it's too dangerous, or you don't want to jeopardize your mental health. And like I said, breaking these generational curses, it's not easy. So you don't have time to be being triggered or going back mentally. And when you're trying to heal, when you're trying to live a good life, and depending on how long you were in that dynamic, you weren't living a good life, or you weren't living a mentally healthy life that whole time. So some people just want to live. They want to live their life. They want to move forward. They want to become the best version of themselves. They want to actually live, because I feel like when you were asleep, were you really living? You feel what I'm saying? So I just want to talk about that. So all the generational curse breakers, keep moving forward. Keep being you. It's your boy Josh Different. I'm different. You different. We different.
These days, I'm letting God handle all things above. The things I can't change are the reason you love me. Listen, you can hear them calling my name. I'm all over the place. I can't sit in one place. I'm